Yeah, so sitting down, you all picked a purple block up. Doesn't matter if you've picked two of a different size, but you need either two blocks like this or a purple block. And at home, anything, a cushion or a folded blanket. Yeah, just get one soft one or a purple one. Yeah. Okay, pop your hands behind you. Lean back into your hands. Doesn't matter which way your fingers are pointing. Have your legs out straight and wide on the mat. And simply roll your legs side to side. So you're turning your heel or rolling on your heels. Knees turn one way or the other way. And then make a circle round with your feet all the way around, burying your heels down into the mat. And then circle them round the other way. Keep your feet pointing up. Walk your fingers in behind. Keep your fingers on the floor behind you and just push your waist nice and tall. And try and keep the feet pointing up. Rather than pushing your head up, try and push the waist forwards and up. So moving forwards through the waist, rather than pushing your chest forwards, is going to get you longer in your spine. Roll the shoulders back, and if your arms are bent, just let the elbows bend narrow towards each other. Bring your legs together, bend the right leg in, and step it across to the outside of the left knee. Keep your right hand on the floor behind, and hold the leg with your left arm. That's it. Hold the left leg to sit tall, so you're lifting yourself tall still, lifting from the waist, and just turning around, gazing over your back shoulder. So yeah, gazing round to the right. Lovely. No, you were doing it right. Looking this way, over your right shoulder, yeah. Back to center. And then just cross that ankle and drop onto your elbows behind. Slide the left leg in. For anyone who struggles to get their foot to stay on their knee like that, hi Louise. If you struggle to keep your foot on that way, then instead just sit and hold onto your ankle wherever you can take it. Okay, now push into your forearms and send the waist forwards again, like you're puffing up the chest a little. Spine like it's trying to arch away from the ground. Bottom stays on the floor, Isabel. Bottom on the floor, that's it, yeah. Okay, slide your left leg out straight and push your way back up. Going to straighten that leg out. Take your feet wide again and rock side to side. Knees one way, knees the other way. Like your legs are just swaying to the jazzy Jamie Cullum. And then circle round. And then circle the other way. And then your feet point up. Your fingers walk in. Keep the fingers on the floor behind and sit tall. Like you're trying to roll forwards on your sit bones to get taller. Keep the chin parallel to the floor and feel like the top of your head is pushing up to an imaginary line that carries you all the way up through to the ceiling. Your legs step in together. Bend the left leg. Foot across to the outside of your right knee. If you can't get your arm around the shin, you hold behind the leg instead. So it's right arm around the leg. Left hand stays on the floor behind as you twist. So that you've got those fingertips on the floor behind to help remind the waist to sit tall. And then keep thinking about the thread at the top of your head, drawing you tall. And then come back to center. That's not my music, is it? That must be someone's phone. It's okay. Right, so drop your knee out to the side and drop onto your forearms, bending the right leg in. Push down through the forearms, lift up through the chest, forwards with your waist. The nice chest opener. You're drawing your shoulder blades towards each other. Are you feeling a little bit of a stretch in the hip, even if it's just soft? Yeah. Your right leg slides out straight as you push back up. Then the left leg as well. Good. Fingertips behind, sit nice and tall. hold onto your rib cage and lift your rib cage up, like you're trying to pick your rib cage further up away from your pelvis. Yeah, now stay sitting tall and put your hands on your front lower ribs, and then just start to arch your ribs forwards over your hands. The pelvis remains upright. You're using your hands almost to create this scooping in curve action in the lower ribs. And then your fingers come on the floor by the knees or the shins as you continue to reach forwards through the crown of your head. If there's sensitivity in your lower back, then you're going to keep your fingers on the floor. Hug your belly in and up to support your spine, and then try reaching your arms forwards in line with your ears. If you feel that pinching in your lower back, you keep your fingers on the floor. 2 more breaths. Following the belly in, rounding your spine up and forwards. 1 more breath. Stack your spine back up so you come all the way up to sitting. Place your hands on the floor behind, this time with your fingers pointing forwards, and bend your legs in, feet flat to the floor. Press it into your hands and narrow your elbows. Press it into your feet and your hands as though you want to lift. Keep pressing, and if you feel that want to lift can produce a lift, then lift your bottom. Keep squeezing the back of the arms as though you're trying to puff your chest up. If it feels too much to lift, you just stay pressing without takeoff. Yeah, so you're still activating the same muscle groups that are trying to lift you, whether you've got your bottom up or not. Lower your bottom back down, and we're going to keep the legs bent. Hold on to the back of the legs. Follow your pelvis back now, so that same scooping action, but we've tipped on the back edge of the sit bones. The front ribs follow in, and I want you to use your belly muscles to carve that hollow even deeper. Hands slide down the back of the legs as you roll down onto your back. Feet come a bit closer to your bottom. Arms down by your side. Find a neutral pelvis, where if you move your pelvis back and forwards, you find its flattest point. You're going to make your right foot a little bit lighter. Don't lift it, just make it lighter. You get heavier in your pelvis as the foot gets lighter. Your core muscles engage, and then lift the right leg into a knee fold. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your neck relaxed. Lower and tap your right foot to the floor and lift back up. Tapping your foot down and up. Tap 3, lift. Tapped. Oh, I was going to put a block behind your head, but you've got 1, 2. And 1 tap. Lift. Keep the leg lifted and try and make circle movements with your thigh bone circling around. You could just put your hand or hands on your belly and or your hips around that area to check that that stays steady as your thigh bone draws a circle. Change direction. Keep the back of your pelvis fixed in one spot on the mat. Return your right foot back to the floor and pause. The pelvis doesn't change position. Get lighter in your left foot, but don't lift it. Just feel how you don't even need to lift the leg for your core muscles to be holding the leg. And then when you're ready, float the leg off the floor. 5 taps down, so you tap your foot down 5 and lifting the thigh bone up vertical. 4, back up to vertical. 3, moving from your hip joints, the knee joint stays at 90 degrees. 1 more. Keep the leg lifted. Now circling your thigh so that it feels like the knee draws a circle, the thigh bone drawing a circle, Vicky, rather than your foot. That's it, that's it. So if your thigh bone's drawing a circle, we know that the thigh bone has a direct connection into the pelvis. So can you circle the thigh bone without the pelvis moving? That means your core muscles are holding your pelvis. Change direction. 2, 1, and that foot lands on the floor. And if your hands were on your belly, bring them back down to the ground. Remember where your hands were holding your lower ribs earlier, and imagine a second set of hands holding your lower ribs down. Just feel as that imaginary set of hands hold the ribs in place, your muscles engage more to keep the ribs held. Float your arms back so they go about halfway behind you, and feel how your ribs remain flat. Then bring your arms back down by your side. 4 more of those. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, arms by your side. You want to feel like you're zipping up some internal muscles of the abdomen when you exhale. Arms back, like you're zipping a corset round your waist with each exhale. 2. Exhale, zip up the corset. 1. Exhale, zip up the corset. Good. Now, when your arms go back, I'd like you to lightly slide your right leg away so the foot's just hovering off the floor. And then as your arms come down, bring that leg back in again. You're back at the start position. This time, do the left leg as your arms go back. And then slide the left leg back in as your arms come down. So now we're both moving the connection to your pelvis, your legs, and the connection to your ribs, your arms. So can you move your legs and your arms without the pelvis or rib cage shifting? Feel how there's that muscular corset holding the rim of your rib cage and the rim of your pelvis in line with each other. Leg just a bit close to the ground, Carol, so your leg slides away like it's trying to extend to the bottom end of your mat. That's it, and then it comes back in again. That's the one. Yep. One more each side. You're not trying to stretch, remember? You're just lightly extending. Last with your left leg. And then you should end up with your feet flat and your arms by your side where you started. Okay, feet flat. Carol, feet flat. That means knees bent. There you go, that's the one. Yeah. Okay, let's put a bit of that together, making it a bit stronger. Lift your right leg into a single knee fold. As your arms float back, tap your right foot to the floor. And as your arms come down, lift your right leg. Again, 4 more. Tap the foot, arms back. Lift the leg, arms down. 3. And lift. So you're tapping the foot as the arms go back. Keep that heaviness connection into your lower ribs. 1. Okay, now you keep doing that, or if you can make it a bit stronger, extend the right leg out so it's hovering over the far end of your mat, and then bend it back in again. Extending the leg out, bending it back in. So your leg doesn't want to go any lower down than the arms do going back. If you take your legs so low that your back begins to lift and your belly arches up, then you know you're taking your leg too low. Take it higher if that's happening. 1 more. When your leg is bent and your arms are by your side, return your foot lightly to the ground and pause. We're going to lift the left leg this time. Your left leg is in its knee fold. Arms go back and tap your left foot to the floor. Arms by your side as the leg lifts. Arms back, tap the foot. Good, keep going. 2. So keeping the leg bent, Vicky, keep the knee 90 degrees. Tap your foot to the floor and then lift the leg. 1 more of those. To make it harder, now you extend the leg away, bend it back in again. One more time. Good. Arms return by your side. Return your foot to the floor. If you've got a block under your head, take it out. Bring your knees to your chest. 1 hand on each knee and circle your knees open and closed. Then circle them the other way. Then pop your feet down on the floor, arms by your side, ready for a shoulder bridge. So before we actually roll up, a bit like when we did the reverse tabletop, when we lifted our bottom off the ground, before you lift, I want you to feel you're pressing into your feet and pressing into the back of your arms before you even curl up. Feel your feet pressing down as if you're trying to lift, but you're not. Okay, now keep that press and start to curl the tailbone up, roll your spine up to a point where it's comfortable, and then roll back down again, upper back, mid back, lower back, all the way back down to the bottom. Inhale. Exhale, roll up and have the sense of your knees reaching away from your hips as you roll up, and then rolling back down as if you're trying to keep your knees stretching away. Again, as you roll up, Pressing through your feet, then beginning the lift. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll down. Inhale as you land. Exhale, roll up. Inhale at the top. Exhale down. One more round. Next, when you roll down, stay down and lift just a tiny amount so you can place the block, or if you're at home, a cushion, whatever you've got, underneath your bottom. Put it flat. Use your purple block if you've got the purple block, or you can use one block, or you can put two together to get a little bit more height. And if you end up finding that that's too much, go on a lower block. Okay, and you're actually going to rest your pelvis on the block. So make sure it's in a comfortable position on the back of your pelvis, not your lower back curve, but the firm bone fusion of the sacrum. I'm just going to grab one myself for people at home watching. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of the leg extension movement with the hips lifted. So arms are down by your side. Lift your right leg into a knee fold. Extend your right leg away so it's about level with the block, and hug your belly toward the floor that's beneath the gap of your back. Bend the leg in, inhale. Exhale, extend the leg away, hugging your belly into the gap underneath your back. Inhale, bend the leg. Exhale, extend away, hugging your belly into the gap. Inhale, bend. We're going 4 more. As you extend away, you're pairing it with that hollowing in of the belly, hugging toward the gap under your back. A slight point in your foot. 2 more. And this is your last one. Bend the leg in, return your foot to the floor. Okay, adjust the block if it's not feeling comfortable. Lift the left leg into a knee fold. As you extend the leg away, maybe about the height of your hip, the height of the block, hug your belly into the gap. Inhale, bend, exhale, extend. Oh, it's your knee. It's that brace. I thought it's Harry whining. What's that noise? It's your knee brace. There's someone that oiled themselves before class. 3 more. You want to extend that leg so you're feeling you get a nice stretch in the front of your hip without your back lifting. 2. This is the next one's your last one. Then the leg bends in, your foot returns to the floor when you've done that last one. Take the block out from underneath. Take your feet a little wider. And like when you had straight legs at the beginning, but this time with bent legs, rock your knees side to side. So you're rolling legs one way, legs the other way, but with your bent knees this time. Okay, when your knees go to the right, turn your whole body onto your right side. Stack your knees together for oyster. Rest your head on your bottom hand or put a block under your head, your choice. Yeah, so you can either bend the arm, head resting on your hand, or put a block under your head, whichever works better for you. Okay, top hand is going to rest on your top hip. So you're checking that that top hip faces forwards. Open your knee, 10. Close your knee, back down. 9, open. Close. Your hand on top is checking that the hip doesn't roll back, but stays facing forwards. 5. Pressing open. 7. 8. 9. One more time. Keep your knees together. Interlace both hands behind your head, so your elbows are facing forwards and your head is kind of rested in the back of your hands. Open your top elbow into an open twist. Keep your knees together the best you can, and then close your elbow in front again. Inhale as your elbow opens and feel your elbow stretching away from your knees. Exhale, close. Keep going with your breath. Inhale, like your elbow is stretching away from your armpits and from your knees. Keep doing exactly the same thing, but when you get there, hold the breath for a few seconds. So inhale, open, hold the breath while your elbow stretches wide, and then exhale, closing. A couple more like that. So you're holding the opening, elbow stretching, turning your chest toward the ceiling when your elbow opens. So you're turning, head rests in your hands. That's it. One more time, and close it back around again. That's it. And then again, open. Okay, and you can keep the open position, yeah, as wide as you can go. Lift your top knee and roll round onto your back so your head rests in your hands. Don't worry if you've come off your mat, just stay there. Just align yourself so your head, your hips and your feet are in a straight line. It doesn't matter if you come slightly off your mat, unless it bothers you. Okay, keeping your hands behind your head, I want you to feel the top of your head stretching toward the back wall of the room so you get nice and long through your spine. Elbows are wide and stretching away from the armpits still. Inhale. Exhale, abdominal curl. Your front ribs drop down as you curl up. Inhale, lower back down again. Exhale, abdominal curl. Inhale, lower. As you curl up, keep your head reaching long. So the extension of your spine doesn't feel like it stops at your neck, but it feels like it reaches out to the top of your head. 3. Remembering on the exhale to feel like there's a corset that just gently firms itself round your middle. One more time. Curl. When you're down, roll onto your left side, and now you can shuffle a little on your side to get yourself back onto your mat if you were off. Knees are bent, ready for oyster, and if you need a rest for your arms, you can put your block under your head instead. Okay, so hand on top hip to check that hip doesn't move anywhere. Oyster knee, opening as you inhale, closing knees together as you exhale. Keep the inner feet touching as you open and close. Open, close. Good. Trying now not to roll into a twist, but to stay facing forwards. 4, 3, 2. When you've done your last one, both hands come behind your head. For the other side, get the elbows to reach forwards. Inhale, open, keep the knees together the best you can. Exhale, elbow closing and pointing forwards. Inhale, open, stretch the elbow away from armpit. Exhale, closing. As you open, the whole top line from knee to elbow should feel long. Let's carry on with that, but adding just a few seconds in the open stretch, where you stretch the elbow, you keep your knees together, and you feel that stretch from your knee to your hip to your ribs to your elbow, in that open stretch position. Making sure your whole body turns. 2 more. Open, turn open. When your elbows close, your head turns forwards again. Last one, and just staying there. Staying in the open, enjoying that little extra stretch you can get into. Great. And then roll all the way onto your back again, lifting your top knee, feet flat to the floor. All you need to do is straighten the line between your head, your chest and your feet. It doesn't matter where you are in orientation to your mat. And again, feel like the top of your head stretched towards the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, abdominal curl. Feel the back of your pelvis sinking firmly to the floor and the pelvic floor muscles squeezing up. You're staying at the top of the curl, hold it here. Elbows stay out in line with the tip of your nose. Now try and lift the back side of the right back side of the rib cage, so you twist, and then back to center. Back left side of the rib cage, twist, and then center. Again, we curl right ribs lifting, center, curl left ribs twisting, center. Try not to just turn your head, but give this little rotation of the rib cage. Feet stay flat, knees stay pointing to the ceiling. I'm going to do one more each way. So you're going to finish on your next left. Make sure the pelvis doesn't roll. Keep the knees steady, one more each way. Keep the pelvis steady. Last time, left side. When you come down, let your knees fall apart into a butterfly stretch and your arms out into a cactus shape. If you struggle with cactus arms, just let your arms open out wide. Butterfly legs is soles of the feet together, knees are open like a butterfly's set of wings. Knees coming together. And then move your bottom just a fraction off to the left side. But just your bottom, not the knees, just your bottom. Lift your bottom, move it slightly to the left, and then lower it. Right, Liz, lift your bottom off the floor, move it to the left, now lower it. There you go. And then wrap your right leg around your left leg. Wrap your right leg around your left leg, so the thigh bone crosses. So we're not doing ankle on knee like we did at the beginning. You're going to cross your thigh bone all the way over. And draw your legs down to the floor to the right. Turn your gaze over toward the left. So your right leg is crossed and your right leg is drawing to the right, carrying the other leg underneath with it. With the legs bent if you can. So bend the legs in. That's it. Got to start with both legs bent, feet flat. Did you move your bottom this way first? Yep. So then cross this leg over. Thigh bone, and then just let them fall that way. Yeah. That's the one. Does that feel all right? Yep, with the legs bent, Isabel. So bend in, that's it, and then drop them down. There you go. Back to center. Carefully uncross that leg. Lift your bottom off the floor. Move it slightly off to the right. So your bottom is now right of center, and cross the left leg all the way over. Thigh bone over thigh bone. And then let your legs slowly fall to the left. Turn your gaze to the right. You've kind of got the legs almost wrapped like ivy would wrap itself round a trunk. Just using your breath to release, relaxing the outer hip, the outer side of the body. Good, and then come back up to center and uncross that leg. Great, bring both knees in, one hand on each knee, circle them open and closed. And circle them the other way. Rolling on your spine is not for everyone. Hold behind the back of your thighs. Don't roll up, even though you know we're probably going to in a moment. Hold the back of your thighs, lift your head and shoulders, and push your thighs into your hands and pull at the same time. Does your back feel like it's created a round shape, like a ball, that you can easily roll back and forwards on with not too much effort? And if that's the case, you can use that to roll all the way up. If it's not the case, you then put your feet down, turn to your side, come up. You've ended up sitting. Bring both feet to the right. Drop down onto your left elbow. You might be off the mat, it's fine. Knees together. Push into your left forearm, lift your ribs and take your left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm under, look at your left forearm, your right arm under and look at your left forearm. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread your right arm under, look at your left forearm. Inhale, open, nice and wide. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open, 4 more. Keep pushing the ground away with your forearm so that there's no collapse. 3. You want to squeeze the belly in as you twist. Inhale, open. Exhale, 2. Inhale, open. Exhale, 1. Open, stay there, lifting the ribs, maybe push down into your knees and take the hips off the floor. Tuck the tailbone towards the heels. 3, 2, 1. Bottom down. Good. Just slowly start to bring the legs round in front. So when you push up, you land on both sit bones. Fists on the floor, lift your bottom, lower it. It lands you back equally on both sit bones. Now swing your legs round to the left and drop onto your right forearm. Legs are bent. Okay, push down into your forearm, lift the ribs. Yeah, if you particularly want to stay on your mat, then it's fine. You can turn around, but otherwise you can stay facing forwards. Arm up in the air, push the ground away and open, widen your chest. Then thread your arm through, looking at the right forearm. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. You want to squeeze in the belly. Liz, hips on the floor. Hips on the floor. That's it, yeah. Keep your hips touching the ground for this first one. Yeah, and the reason you keep your hips on the floor at this level of the exercise anyway is because when you twist, you're not looking to turn your pelvis. If your hips are lifted, you'd probably end up pivoting the hips. So it's try and twist, pivot and twist through the belly so the pelvis doesn't really turn with you. 3. Legs are kind of staying just together equally in the middle. 1 more. Then your arm opens, stay open. Keep the ribs lifted. You either just stay there or press more down into your knees. Squeeze the hips up away from the floor. Tuck the tailbone towards your heels. 3, 2, draw your chin in, top of the head long. 1. Lower, and this time swing your feet behind so you come round onto hands and knees. Pick your right knee off the floor and circle your right leg round. Circle from the thigh bone. Work at strengthening through your hip joint and around the hip joint. Change direction. Go wide and back so you get into your external rotators and your buttock muscles. Now keep the leg bent and lift it high. Sole of the foot facing the ceiling. Look just ahead of your hands and roll your right hip to face the ground, but push the sole of the foot up. Can you get your leg higher, Camilla? Rather than it being out wide, bring the knee straight back. That's it. There you go. And the hip is facing the floor. Keep it there and then extend from the knee and bend from the knee. 4, extend, bend. The thigh bone stays still. 3, 2, curling your heel towards your bottom. Try not to drop the thigh bone. 1, and then lower that leg to the floor. Left leg lifts. Circle the thigh round. See what range of movement you can get in that circle, especially after quite a bit of leg work we've done, loosening off and strengthening, and then change direction. Keep the thigh bone lifted straight out behind you, level with your hip, flex the foot, sole of the foot facing the ceiling. Before you begin, make sure that the left hip is looking at the floor and your belly hugs in, ribs hug in. Then straighten from your knee so your leg extends and bends. Try not to let the thigh bone move, just extend from the knee and bend from the knee, heel towards bottom. 3, 2, like you're trying to squeeze a football round in the back of the thigh. 1, extend the leg, return it back down to the floor and sit into a child's pose. Let's have the arms extended in front. And I'm going to take a little lunge, which gets us even more into the hip flexors. You're going to need your purple block. So have your purple block in your right hand. Come up to high kneeling and step your left foot forwards. Step the block forward so it's about level with your bent knee. Hand resting on the block, and your left hand can rest on your left thigh. Switch your leg over, Francis. That's it. Good. Lunge your pelvis down a bit more. Step your foot further forwards, Liz, so it's flat on the floor. That's it, yep. If your heel's lifting, wriggle the foot further forward so you're stepping right down, knees in line with your heel. Lift your chest more. As your pelvis goes forward, your chest comes back. Now, if you don't need the block, I want you to firm your legs like they're squeezing together, and then dangle your arms to begin with, squeezing in at the pelvis, and take your arms up. Thumbs turn back, little fingers reach upwards. 2, working a bit on your balance. 1. Hand back down, straighten out your front leg and slide the leg back. Switch the block over to your other hand. Step your right foot forwards, blocking your left hand. Wriggle the foot forwards and lunge forwards. So when you lunge forwards, your pelvis lunges forwards, not your chest. So Carol, lift your chest up, wriggle your foot further forwards. Wriggle your right foot further forwards. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. That's it, or lift it, yeah? Okay. Chest up, so your arm, the left arm is fully straightened. You might even be on your fingertips. Yep. And lunge further forwards with your hips and further up with your chest. Forwards with your hips, up with your chest. Now squeeze your legs into the pelvis, like your legs are both trying to squeeze into the hip joints. Dangle your arms, keep the chest up, and maybe float your arms up. Working on balancing, keep a steady gaze on something. Draw the waist back. Come back down, find your block, your thigh for balance, and then release that leg. And take a downward facing dog, just lifting your knees, look between the legs. Harry, would you like to take over this one? Not now, he said, I'm having a snooze. Yeah, downward facing dog. Hands on the floor, hips reaching back. Hands are flat, palms flat. No, okay, fine. Legs are back. Hazel, take up the whole, you're tall, so you can take the whole length of your mat. Feet back here, hands up here. Few more breaths there. Would these help? Try putting your hands on there and just see if that angle helps at all.
Just a couple too.
How's that with those? Does that help?
No,
it's still too much.
Really,
yeah, still too much.
Bad.
Really bad. Okay, fine. Sometimes they help if it's mild. Yeah, fists. Walk your hands and feet towards each other. So your hands now are bearing no weight. You're all in your feet. Hold on to opposite elbows and take a little swing side to side. And back to center. Release your arms. Now you want to create a C curve by pulling your belly in toward the spine. Hands can go on your legs if you need the support for your back. And roll your spine up out of the C curve up to standing. Shoulders roll in a backward circular motion. Once you're standing, shoulders rolling back. Let it blossom, let it grow. Once you go back with your arms, left hand catching hold of right elbow, draw your right arm long, lower your head to the left. Head to center, release, and right hand reaches across and holds onto the left arm. Head drops to the right. Draw your arm long. Press your waist against your forearm. Come back to center with your head. Both arms come down. Push into your feet and feel your legs get firmer and stronger. Feel them connect into your pelvis and feel all the muscles around your pelvis hugging into your pelvic bones. Take your left arm straight up. Hug your belly and put your hand on your tummy and just check it feels like it's active. Reach over slightly toward the right, so you're leaning to the right. Keep the belly hugging in and release your right arm. Okay, keep strong in your belly and lift the right arm up by your right ear and take it back down again. 4 more. Exhale, arm lifts. Inhale, arm down. You want to really hug your belly in as your arm lifts. Really push into your feet. This time when your arm comes up, come all the way up. Really release your left arm by your side. Side bend over. Get long, push from your feet, get really long. Right armpit, Louise, rolls back slightly. There you go. So you're not turning at all, you're facing forwards. Inhale and then exhale, lift the arm. Inhale, arm down. Imagine a hand on your tummy, checking it's still engaged. 3, push more into your feet as your arm lifts as well. So even your legs get active into the core. 1 more time. Then next arm lift, you come all the way up. Arms down. Walk forwards on your mat. Pop your block behind you. Or if you've got more than 1 block, 2 blocks. And then stand wider than your block with your heels turned in and your toes turned out. Hands into a little prayer position. Squat down and see if your elbows can touch the top of your thighs. Push through your legs and come back up again. So you're sitting your hips back. 4. Knees go out in the direction of your toes. 3. Doesn't matter if the heels lift, but if they can stay on the floor, keep them on the floor. And Liz, you want your feet a bit wider, 1. And use your purple block. I'll put it there, I'll put it there. Okay, now go down and stay down. Into that squat and stay there. And ask yourself, how does this feel? Does it feel like I can go a lot lower than here? And if it does feel like you can go lower, drop your bottom a bit lower down, bring your elbows inside your knees and see if your bottom can find the block. And if it's in the wrong place, come up, move it and go back down again. So you're there or you're here and then dropping onto your block, elbows inside. Right then, if you're still elbows on thighs, it's fine. It's fine. People who are elbows on thighs, I'd like you to come to sitting on the block, even if you didn't come down that way. We're all sat on the block now, however you got there. Still with the feet turned out, in as close as you can. Bring them, use your hands, get hold of the front of the ankles and bring them in as close as you can. Feet wide, Ali, feet wide, that's it. Good. Nice. Hold on to your knees. See if you can pull yourself forwards. Pull the knees back to pull your chest forwards. Go back again. Pull your knees back to pull your chest forwards. Go back again. Pull your knees back, chest forwards, and see if you can get your bottom off the block. Feet wider here, Francis. Feet wider and slightly turned out. That's it. Knees are wider than your shoulders, so you've got a gap in between for your chest to come in space of. Yeah. 1 more time. See if you can pull the knees back, chest forward, maybe coming off the block. Don't worry if you haven't. If you came off the block, Louise, Karen, off the block, elbows inside your knees and hover off the block. Come forward. Otherwise, elbows inside your knees and stay on the block. Off the block if you can. On the block if you need to. 3. 2. Can you not help, darling? He says, what's going on? What are you all playing at? Okay, remove the block, so do that however you can. Come down onto your back. Take a full body stretch, wriggle out long. Legs straight, arms straight, nice long stretch out. And then take it into a banana stretch. So step across to your right with your feet. Shuffle your head and shoulders to the right. In your banana stretch, you hold onto the left wrist and maybe cross your left ankle over. You're still lying flat on the floor. Lie flat on the floor. Lie flat. Roll back or roll onto your back. That's it. Then your feet step that way a little. We'll keep the left buttock down. Feet dead. Can you get your legs together? That's it. So you're just lying in that curve, but with your body flat. Back to centre. And go the other way. Feet to the left side of the mat. Head and shoulders shift a little leftwards. You're not rolling onto your side. Stay flat. Stay flat. Just step your feet over. And then keep your right shoulder on the floor. What you want to try and do is almost just like wriggle your chest over a little bit. That's it. And your head follows as well. There you go. Now you're in that nice curve. And then back into centre. Extend out into a star shape, legs wide, arms wide. Bottom and head back in line with each other and relax. Keep the legs as they are, but bring your arms down wider than your hips, palms to the ceiling. I'm going to take 10 slow deep breaths so you're in a relaxing, comfortable position. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth and relax your whole body. Breathe in 9. Out 9. 8. Out 8. 7. Out 7. 6. Longer exhales, pausing at the end. 5. 4. Letting your whole body dissolve with the exhales. 3. Long exhale into nothingness. 2. All the way out. Last breath, breathing your whole body. Relaxing your whole body. Your legs come in narrow. Inhale, arms stretch overhead. Exhale your right knee to your chest and try lifting your nose towards your knee. Go back down again, inhale. Left knee to your chest, try lifting your nose to your knee. Inhale back down. Exhale, one more each side, right. Inhale. Last left. Inhale, and then your choice if you want to turn onto your side and move up, or if you want to lift your arms and roll your spine up, you can roll up. Come up to sitting. Well, there we are. Thank you very much. Thank you, Harry, being a very good boy.